right, I haven't got time to mark this motherfucker. Here we go again. We can't hear anybody. Nobody can talk to anybody.
You guessed it, Pressure Points with your two favorite hosts. I'm D, and this is Street AJ. We're coming at you with Season 8, Episode 6, R.I.Pizza.
Hell yeah.
I'm talking about one of the most harrowing mass casualties in U.S. history. Find us on Instagram and Patreon at pointsopressure.com.
Well, turn the fucking thing off, you dumbass.
So, you watched the Super Bowl yesterday, which is today?
I turned it on for the halftime show.
I heard it wasn't great.
The halftime show?
Yeah.
No, dude, I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was great.
I heard third hand through somebody who doesn't even know who the artist was.
Oh, okay. Well, then that would make sense. I think if you don't already know the songs, the sound mixing wasn't really great, so you couldn't hear his speech very well. So you'd be like, "What the fuck were those words?" Right? But yeah, I thought Kendrick did a great job.
Well,
I'm a huge fan of.
Can we call him
Kendrick
Kenny?
Lamar? Yeah, K. Dot. That's what he goes by.
Kenny.
Too. Yeah, Kenny Lamar.
Kenny Lamar.
I'm a huge fan. I love his stuff, and I love the whole shit on Drake thing. I think it's fun.
Yeah, that's been really funny. As somebody who does not care even a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He is so funny.
It's like I don't give a fuck about any of it, but I'm just like I think that Drake has always come off as like a slimy little piece of shit.
Yeah, 100%.
That I'm like, we're calling him a pedophile now? Yeah, sign me up. I'm good.
Okay.
Which he really fucking played into all of that during the last song he did. He had everybody in the crowd yell A minor and shit. It was fun. It was
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. Like if you don't know anything about either of them, you'd be like, what the fuck is this all about? But yeah,
but if you knew
still really cool.
The 90s rap drama,
they had. I mean,
it's basically that they're doing that, but on a smaller scale.
They had Sam Jackson in there, and he was dressed up as Uncle Sam, and he's like, "It's the Uncle Sam you want." It was kind of cool. It was fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I'd say check it out. It's a good
I'll
performance.
check it out.
It's pretty cool.
Who won? Is it over? I don't know.
It's about to be. It's the Eagles just beat the Chiefs. Yeah, it's like
hey, I remembered something.
40-something to 12.
Whew.
Yeah, it was a fucking blowout.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely wouldn't be an interesting game to watch. So.
The only thing I really know about it is that a bunch of people hijack the hashtag Super Bowl. And they don't hijack it. They're just using a very similar one, which is Superb Owl.
No, that's the Reddit. Super Bowl.
It's on Blue Sky and stuff.
The Super Bowl Reddit is, or I should say, the Superb Owl subreddit.
Yes.
Has been around for I think 10 years. They got it before the Super Bowl did.
Yeah.
And they just held on to it. So I don't even know what the Super Bowl subreddit is, but it's
no,
probably just in
on
NFL.
Hashtagable social medias.
It's
now it's
fucking
just
great. Superb Owls.
Well, it's very much a leftist movement now.
I love
where
it.
it's fuck the capitalism, fuck how much money is here. People are posting, hey, look at this.
All the right-wing shit in
Look at all this fucking look at this awesome great horned owl.
Yeah, check out these birds.
Look at this awesome snowy owl. And then at the bottom it'll be and then you see all these companies who are doing these ads that cost so
fucking
brain-meltingly much money. They've been, posting record profits for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And yet somehow inflation is causing the prices to go up.
Yeah, for real.
Just shit like that. It's been fun.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, my wife participated.
Yeah?
Yeah, one of her posts is at 300 likes. Not even for that, from before that.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm surprised she doesn't watch the Puppy Bowl. They do that before. It used to be, what was it, the Animal Channel? Is that what that fucking... So they did, I mean, they still do it. They do a Puppy Bowl, and it's like an adoption thing.
Yeah.
Where they basically just throw a bunch of toys in a little area and then put a bunch of puppies that need to be adopted in there and just let them play. just on the same day as the Super Bowl.
See,
They
that's
usually do it
awesome.
like a couple hours before.
But we need
It's
an
fun. It's
old
cute.
fucking gross dog bowl because those are the
Yeah,
ones who
yeah.
need help getting adopted and being
That
cute.
is true.
So let's
But
do that.
it would be
But,
tough to
yeah.
watch them. It's just 2 hours of them sleeping.
Yeah, hell yeah, sounds great.
Oh shit!
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's something.
Super
I didn't
Bowl.
have anywhere to go with that.
Super Bowl.
Now we can
Yeah.
put it in the
Yeah,
in the
we talked.
metadata.
Yeah, we talked about it.
I'm gonna put that in the
Yeah,
in the
Super
title or in
Bowl
the description,
episode.
just like. Yeah, it's gonna be your
The Super
episode
Bowl,
title,
yeah.
and then in parentheses Super Bowl special.
R.I.Pizza.
Hell
Super Bowl
yeah.
special. Hell yeah, sounds
That's
good to me.
All right,
That
perfect.
works.
That's great.
How was your week?
Not bad. After watching American Psycho, and I'm reading
You're
it.
still
I'm in
reading
the
it?
process of reading it. It's so good. I read it at
It's
night
a-
when I'm at
It's a
work,
trip, dude, huh?
and I'll get through like just like be completely hooked into just this 4 pages of no paragraph spacing at all.
Yup.
And I'll be like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, why? I don't know why it's so gripping when he's just ranting about something.
Yeah. Have you gotten to where, like, the dog part?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, I'm still pretty early.
That shit's fucked. That
Oh,
that's where things start to get really unhinged. Because for the first little bit, you're just like, yeah, he's just crazy. Like,
Yeah.
this is fucking weird, dude. Because he's just so obsessive. But when he slips into, like, his psychosis shit, it's like,
Hell yeah.
what the fuck? Yeah.
But because of that, I've started a skincare routine.
Yeah?
So I have horrible dry skin.
That's fair.
And after reading that, I was like, hold on.
Do these work?
I thought everything in the cosmetic industry was a lie to sell more shit.
Not all of it. Some of it's
So
good.
I just got like cheap, hypoallergenic, unscented shit,
Yeah. And now you're not so dry.
and I'm not as dry.
You need
and
like a
my
really
beard
good
is soft.
lotion for your hands.
My beard is
Your
soft.
hands and your feet. You go crazy with those.
And yeah, I don't know. It's pretty funky.
Yeah.
It makes my beard smell kind of like sunscreen, though.
What the fuck?
I don't know. It's
Should
like
get one that
got a
has,
bunch of different stuff in it and
should get, like,
together. It's
Tea
weird.
tree oils. Because those
Now
are the
that
ones
dries
that-
me out so
It does?
bad.
I fucking love that shit.
I love it.
refuse to get shampoo that doesn't have that in it because it's like minty. I fucking
Oh no, I
that
love
shit.
it. I have tea tree oil
I use it for
upstairs,
everything. I love it.
but it dries me out
Damn.
so
That's too bad.
bad.
You should check out doTERRA. I have a
Oh yeah,
I have a fucking affiliate link for you.
yeah. Your sister sells it or something.
Yeah, if you go onto doterra.com, use
Yeah,
code
/ pressure
yeah,
points.
Use
Okay.
the PP Boys,
The PP boys.
and you'll get
Holy
100%
moly.
off your first order.
Yeah. You just pay for shipping. That's it. You just pay for shipping. It happens to be
dude.
$35 of
That's
shipping.
what we should do. Is we should just get affiliate links from like the shittiest,
From the
most
shittiest
scammy
stuff.
companies, and just never make money on them, but just use it as jokes.
Hey,
but it's a real
Factor
fucking
75.
thing. Yeah. Factor
Use-
100.
Use code POG the PP Boys 2025.
God.
If it doesn't work, email Factor 75 and say, "Hey, why isn't this
Why the
code
fuck
working?
doesn't this
Why
work?"
don't you sponsor this podcast?"
Yeah.
And if we get one of you to do that
Every day.
100,000 times with different fake emails, they'll sponsor
They'll
us.
do it. Yeah, they'll do it.
They'll
And
send
when they
us.
respond and say we don't sponsor them, just respond and say liar. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
No title or anything.
Go after their family.
Yeah, liar. I will fucking murder you. Oh,
We should do that. We
that's
should find-
brigading. Oh god.
Oh, God. Well, that's okay. Brigading's not illegal.
That's fair.
It's just against Reddit terms of service.
This is true. Yeah,
Are we Reddit?
Twitch.
Are we a libtard? A red
No, red pill.
Redditard?
Yeah,
Well,
we
I
are.
saw somebody had a good insult for
Redditard,
Redditors. I don't
Jesus.
remember what it was.
I mean, fair. You just have to say. You just have to call somebody a redditor. It's
Yeah,
insulting enough.
that works.
All right.
All
I
right, we should
suppose
probably
we'll jump
yeah.
into
well,
it.
how was your week?
It was a week. I've just been exhausted all fucking week. I've been so goddamn tired.
Dude, something about this
slept-
week. I've been sleeping so much.
I slept like all fucking weekend. I woke up today, was awake for like an hour or two, and then I was like, I'm just gonna take a nap, and
Dude,
then
I
took
did
like
that
a
too.
fucking 3-hour nap.
I did that too. I took a 2-hour nap, but I did that today. Yeah. I'm just
something about
snow.
this weekend, this week. It's just I do. It would not surprise me if something. It was with like the barometric pressure and shit, and just
It's got to be something.
the weather's been goofy as fuck. It's been like warm and then really cold, and then it snowed and it also rained, but it was warm rain. It's just been a mess.
Yeah,
but,
my body's going to emergency mode. It's like I don't know what's going on. Just sleep through it.
I just had no fucking energy all week. So, but yeah, so I slept a lot this week.
Yeah,
and I also worked way too much this week as well.
Ugh,
but
nasty.
it's all good. It's all good. I got an entire week off coming up.
Damn.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm not going to do your fucking overtime shit when we have a holiday because it has to be 40 working hours until you qualify for overtime pay.
Oh, that's bullshit.
So when there's a
bullshit.
holiday, you have to work they're like, oh, you only have to work the 4 extra hours, but it's on regular pay. So I was like, fuck you. I've got friends coming into town that weekend. So I was like, I'm just going to take the whole week off. Fuck you guys.
Hell yeah.
So yeah. So it'll be nice.
Nice.
So yeah, easy peasy. A pretty interesting episode today. So
yeah, let's hold on. Let's everybody, if you're
take a drink.
Everybody, get a swizzle your ice around.
You know what I was gonna say? Oh yeah.
Oh, and then this is a fresh bottle.
This. Do you still have that Soda Stream?
I can carbonate it.
We should try.
I've got a keg.
Natural,
I've got like a kegerator.
Natural grape soda. That would be fucking bomb, dude.
All right.
We should do it. Do you work tomorrow?
Yes, I work next 3 days in a row.
Do you want to do it after the episode tonight? We can make a glass. We'll try it out.
How much do you have?
I have one, like a half a jar left, and then 2 other jars.
Okay.
I got 8 jars from him, and I held on to 3 for drinking. And I figured, I was like, if you use 4 to brew, then you'll still have another.
I'll still have
to drink.
1.
Or if you only want to do 2 to brew, you'd still have 3. So.
Well, I want to make I'm making wine with some of that stuff. So with some grape juice.
Really fucking good grape juice, homegrown.
Yeah, homegrown grape
Hand
juice.
squeezed.
We can. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I got the cartridges.
Okay. If not, just hold on to it.
We
do it
can
when
do it. We can do it.
When you're not working.
Let's do it.
But, yeah, because I was like, this feels like it would be good mixed with something. Like as a
as a mixer.
Really good OG fucking
it does.
grape soda. That'd rock.
Hell yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll pop into it.
Hey, next painting night, I'll bring my kegerator.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay,
honestly,
sorry.
I
keep derailing us.
You're good.
And we're just talking about life stuff.
All right. 5th of March, 1973.
Remember the 5th of March, timber.
Yeah. There are a few dozen people that meet outside they meet on a little farm with Mario Fabrini and the governor of Michigan.
Mario?
And I'll get into who Mario is and why he's here. But everybody that shows up stands around what is going to become a future, fairly not well known, but I mean, I guess to locals. But they're all standing on the edges of a 20-foot deep mass grave.
With bodies currently in it?
No, bodies aren't.
Oh, they're planning to make
nothing
a mass
in it
grave?
yet. It's just open right now. It's been dug. They're standing there, and a dump truck backs up, and everyone's there for this funeral. Dump truck backs in, and everybody's in shock as the victims of a botulism outbreak are dumped out into this mass grave. Over 30,000 were buried. All of the bodies were frozen solid, or I guess everything was frozen solid. And it was a heartbreaking sight for everyone involved because, I mean, this is it was more of like a local event. And so it wasn't really nationwide. Press didn't really grasp it or anything. And they just, kind of kept it under wraps for the most part because it was such it sounds like a huge thing, right?
Yeah, you'd think.
But they kept it
30,000 victims?
30,000 victims, yeah.
That's a lot of dump trucks.
The governor spoke of courage in the face of tragedy.
Hold on, and this was in Michigan?
Yeah. It was in Michigan.
Why does this sound fake? Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm not saying it's fake. I'm just
legit.
saying this sounds insane.
It does.
That this is not,
truly fucking insane.
The American mass graves haven't really been discussed very much. Especially but honestly, saying that sentence out loud.
I mean, it's 1973.
Yeah, you'd think that would be.
Think about all the other episodes we've done in the 70s. There were so many little fucking cover-ups and shit.
Well, especially
happened.
with all of the activism in that decade as well.
Yeah, but I mean, small town Michigan.
Yeah,
30,000 is a lot of.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot. So governor speaks as the grave's filled and shares some words. And I mean, just as we said, this is like 50 years ago, like 51 years ago now. It's a big deal. And it's really, like everything around all of this is just like, what the fuck? Because after the fucking like filling of the mass grave, Mario Fabrini steps off to the side, brings everybody over, and he's got these fucking tables out, and he starts just serving pizza to everyone in attendance.
Okay.
Which pizza's great. I mean, but it is not a funeral food.
It's not a funeral food.
Not at all.
But I mean, if there's pizza there, I'll fuck with it.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, he hands out pizza.
Welcome to the mass grave. Here's your slice.
Sorry, I'm reading the text from my buddy. He said,
"You're good."
Oh shit. Oh well, whatever.
Yeah.
It's 1-to-1 bottled juice and bottle of water is how they drink it, and a half a cup of sugar. But
they add sugar.
Yeah, they're crazy. I don't know.
What the hell?
Nuts, yeah,
it's so sugary.
I know. I'm like, I'm good with this, but it's good to know that they water it down. I didn't know that. Yeah, so Mario serves all this fucking pizza to everybody that attended. The country never really, like the U.S. never ran with headlines because a lot of people just didn't know about the Great Michigan Pizza Funeral is what it's called.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
What?
30,000 frozen pizzas were buried alive that day. 30,000 frozen pizzas dumped out into a mass grave.
Rip.
Fucking R.I.P. and no one is talking about this.
What a rip.
It's heartbreaking. So we'll go back. We'll talk about who Mario Fabrini is. Mario Fabrini immigrated into the U.S. After World War II from, what was it, communist-run Croatia, I believe. And he was ready for, he's ready for this American dream. He's just like, hey, let's fucking like.
My first name's Mario. I'm going to open a pizza shop.
His first name is actually Ilario.
Oh, okay.
It's Ilario, but he goes by Mario Fabrini.
That's okay. Ilario is very close to a World of Warcraft character's name. Okay, do with that what you will. We can move on from there.
Yeah, so moves to the U.S. and he's just like, let's fucking go crazy, man. Marries his wife Olga, Mario and Olga.
Of course it's Olga. Are you kidding me?
They buy a small house in Michigan and decide to just get going on a business. They sit down together one night and he's like, look, I have this, despite being from Croatia, he is Italian. He's like, I got this running through my blood. I know all these recipes. It's late 1940s U.S., 1950s U.S. You can't really just be like, hey, here's authentic, like, fucking carbonara, and they're just like, oh yeah, this is fine. Like,
no, well, you can't really say, here's some authentic food, because then everybody's going to go up and say, where were you in 1943?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Is your last name Mussolini by any chance?
Right. So he and his wife sit down and they're like, how can we translate this food so that it is appealing to an American palate? Like right now, the U.S. is going through this massive surge of like convenience foods.
Oh,
and like
the advent of the microwave meal.
Yeah, you can get an entire turkey dinner in a like can of turkey dinner. Like it's just the big thing right now is frozen food, convenience items that you can just have in your shelf or your freezer forever. And so they sit down and they're like, I think frozen pizzas are the best way to do this. So Olga and Mario get to work and they start.
That's actually genius.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, really, it really is a great idea.
Getting on the ground early in the frozen pizza game,
Yeah,
that is kind of genius.
They start making frozen pizzas, figuring out what works, what's going to be the best recipe for it, and replicating it, freezing them. And this, initially, it just starts out as like a fairly local chain. I shouldn't even say chain. It's just they're selling out of their house for like the first 10 years that they're doing this.
Dang.
And I don't even know how many they were selling per day. But I mean, well enough that it's not like he was running or working somewhere else. Olga isn't necessarily working anywhere else. This is like their bread and butter. And after 10 years, so we're into the 1960s, they end up getting real estate for this business. Like it ended up being lucrative enough that, hey, I can make this like an out-of-home career now. They get to a spot. They have over 20 employees.
Dang.
And they're cranking out almost 10,000 pizzas a day. Yeah.
Like, holy shit. No, I think they're doing well.
They're getting almost 50,000 a week, dude.
In 60s money.
That they're fucking making and just shipping all over the place. It's insane.
Oh, no,
it's
they're doing
fucking
great.
Impressive.
The pizza moguls.
Yeah, dude. When he made his little factory, his little plant, it was the most advanced pizza factory in the country, probably because there weren't very many other frozen pizza factories in the U.S. But I mean, this is huge. This is massive for somebody that immigrated here like 15 years earlier.
Yeah.
It's
and now
wild.
You have this huge pizza production company and employees and
it's exciting.
Yeah, 10,000 pizzas a day.
And the ingredients that Mario is outsourcing, or I guess he's outsourcing all of his ingredients from a couple different companies, which is fairly standard.
Yeah, it's not like he can grow all the ingredients in his backyard.
He's not doing, like, he only has 20 employees. It's not like he's running this massive fucking industry where it's all sourced from him. And most of his ingredients are like on the fresher side. Like it's not like he's just getting mozzarella that's like 4 years old that's been frozen for 4 years. He tries to keep the majority of his ingredients pretty fresh. The only thing that he can't, or that he insists they don't do fresh, are the mushrooms that they put on the pizza, because in his eyes it would lead to so much more food waste that he would then have to account for. They used canned mushrooms at Mario's facility, and they get them from the United Canning Company.
I love the concept.
Yeah, that
you're producing a thing that's going to sit in somebody's freezer for who knows how long. Then you're going to microwave it or bake it in the oven or whatever, and you have to use use fresh ingredients for that.
I know, it's
as
so
if that's
silly,
going to change it. But
right?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I just think that's kind of a funny,
but it's
funny
just
concept.
Goofy, because that was like the one thing that stood out was, they use canned mushrooms. Like, those aren't as fresh. But I get it. Like, it makes sense. You would have to hire additional people to vet your fresh mushrooms.
Yeah, mushrooms
and cut
go
them and
bad
everything.
quick.
Yeah, exactly.
They can.
And when you have them canned, it's just like pop that shit open and drain them and toss them on. Easy peasy.
And then that's when he came up with his catchphrase: "Fresher people, fresher ingredients."
Yeah.
Papa John's, or whatever the Papa John's one is. I don't actually know.
Better ingredients.
Oh,
whatever.
I thought it was fresher ingredients.
Better people, better ingredients. Papa John's or some weird shit.
His name was
followed
Papa
by
Mario
the N-word or something.
John's. Yeah. And then something about really enjoying Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. God damn. So he gets all these mushrooms from a company that's based in East Palestine, Ohio. Yes.
Yes.
The East Palestine that you're all thinking of that had the train derailment, 2 years ago that fucking got all those chemicals everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
I'm waiting for that one to be old enough to do a story on. I love train derailment stories, actually.
So yeah, logistical standpoint, the canned mushrooms make more sense than fresh mushrooms. And yeah, Mario's he's killing it. Everything's running like clockwork. They're crushing business. 10,000 pizzas a day is fucking insane for the 1960s.
Yeah, I couldn't eat that much pizza.
That's fucking impressive, regardless how many employees they have. It's just like, holy shit. And Mario kind of turns into this frozen pizza magnate. Like,
hell yeah.
He's
That's the only title I want.
Going crazy. Yeah, dude. Unfortunately, though, as the year started in 1973, the canning company decided to change the way that they did their canning process. They had figured out how to automate everything with machines rather than doing hand cranking and sealing like they previously were. And in their eyes, this is a massive cost-saving measure.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, like it's going to be more efficient. It's going to be, it's not necessarily safer per se because of all of the cleaning that they have to do on this, so they aren't doing it as often. It is the 60s.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they dive straight into this side of utilizing machines to can everything. But the biggest problem that they're running into is that their cans are starting to be overfilled. Just a little bit overfilled than they should be. And they just continue sending out their mushrooms, whatever. And Mario's team receives cans of mushrooms that are a little bit swollen. They're bulging a little bit.
Well, they overfilled it, so it's probably just too much pressure inside.
They got a little bit of, they have
Pops.
some bumps. They got some weird.
That's normal.
Shaped a little funky. They don't sit flat on the table.
I got a ton of cans of beans upstairs that are kind of bulged out. I had one.
You should
it
definitely
hissed a
keep
little
those.
bit. I ate it last night. I feel fine.
Yeah. If you're opening a can and it doesn't hiss like a soda, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. You're buying that cheap shit.
You should absolutely throw that shit away.
Unless it was supposed to be pressurized.
Yeah.
Like old MRE food. And some things are supposed to be pressurized. Some things are not.
So yeah, team notices these cans are bulging. They don't really know enough about the process per se. So they're like, okay. And Mario's like, yeah, just keep using them. We haven't heard anything yet. Nothing bad.
I wonder when canned food started to be like widely available in the U.S.
When was that fucking cookbook made that you have?
Yeah.
And over time, things kind of start getting more out of hand. Mario isn't the only customer for United Canning Company. So companies that are bigger than him that know a little bit more about all this are reaching back out and they're like, hey, these shouldn't be bulging. Like, this is a very fucking bad sign, United Canning Co. And it ends up leading to one of the companies reaching out to the FDA to ask for testing for botulism. Because, people are just like, yeah, something's going on. And
yeah,
United Canning hasn't said anything yet. They're like, oh, yeah, we just moved to a new machine. That's it.
Yeah, as a canned food enjoyer, they, like, the first thing is don't use it if it's bulged because
bulged
botulism.
Or dented.
Bulged
don't
or dented.
Do that shit.
Dented can mean there's a structural problem. Microscopic bacteria can get in potentially. And then if it's bulging, something in there's growing. Yeah. And it's probably botulism.
It's wild. It's crazy. So just be careful with canned food. It's convenient.
It's very convenient.
Kind of gross sometimes, but also it's fucking...
I like canned meat.
Yeah,
Spam.
Canned meat is interesting.
Spam is great. I
do like spam.
We should do... that should be an exclusive.
We just eat
we should have some canned meat throughout the episode.
Only if we can also have a gallon of water to the side.
Oh, yeah.
To keep my sodium levels down.
I'll keep an IV drip in us.
Yeah, fuck.
Just the bag is just dry.
The IV canning episode.
IV, yeah.
Yeah, so I lost my place in my notes.
Sorry.
So the FDA reaches out. They tell everyone, hey, stop using mushrooms from United Canning for the time being. And Mario's like, okay, all right, like whatever.
Fine.
He's got a huge backlog of mushrooms already.
I may as well use them up.
Yeah, right? And the FDA, the way that they test for botulism, this is the fucking 70s, dude. How do you think they test for it? They basically just feed the canned mushrooms to lab mice.
Oh, my God.
And they feed it to the lab mice, and the lab mice start dying off.
Ooh. Mushroom overdose.
Yeah, right? It turns out mice are allergic to mushrooms.
Yeah.
So their conclusion, fucking clearly these mushrooms have fucking botulism. So Mario gets some bad news in February, and he has to contact all of the companies that he sells to for a major recall. 30,000 pizzas need to come back.
Damn.
It leads to $60,000 in losses, and it costs $30,000 to recall the pizzas. So, like,
that's a chunk of money.
Almost $100K that he loses because of United Canning Co. and their refusal to keep people employed and moving to machines. But
or any kind of like safety quality assurance.
For real. On top of that, there are 17 reports that come in with symptoms of botulism, which is fucking bad.
That's really bad, actually.
Now there's a chance that you get hit with a class action.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's going to be a hell of a lot worse than the $100,000 you just had to spend to get all your pizza back, dude. So Mario isn't looking so great right now. He's like, I've got bad press down my back, like, and it's not even necessarily my fault. Like, it falls on United Canning Co. Like, what the fuck do I do? And one night he has this genius idea to get some news buzzing. So he reaches out to the Michigan governor and he says, hey, I want you to come out to this farm. Hey, employees. Hey, friends and family. I want you guys to come out to this farm. We're going to have a mass funeral. So they put this funeral together with 4 truckloads of frozen pizza that are dumped into a 20-foot deep hole.
They're probably all still wrapped in plastic.
Yep, they're all still wrapped in plastic. I'll talk about that in a sec.
That was just a joke.
No,
oh, my God.
Yeah, holds the Great Michigan Pizza Funeral and just does his best to get any kind of like positive publicity. A fun, silly story in the news so that people are like, hey, look, like he had good intentions. Like,
yeah,
he did
the right thing.
He did do the recall. Everything's safe, and we're going to bury all these pizzas as kind of a last hurrah. He has a fucking wreath that's red and white, and he's like, this is a wreath that has the colors of pizza. It's in honor of pizza. Just a goofy fucking dude.
But it's kind of like if a crow was watching a human mass burial and then afterwards they served human.
Yeah.
Like,
100%. It's fucking
I'm
terrible.
Like, hold on. The
and
optics are good, but don't think about it too much.
And then it's kind of an act of like good faith. He says, hey, everybody, like, these are good pizzas. I promise. Somebody that went to the fucking funeral was like, I mean, the governor had a slice and he didn't die, so I guess the pizza's okay.
Yeah, that's probably one of the better things that he could have done.
Right. So as you had asked, all of the pizzas were still in their cellophane wrappers. And in the governor's speech, he pointed out, this time next year, all that's going to be left of this is just the cellophane, because in the 70s they still didn't quite understand that that's fucking terrible for the environment.
That's fine. Hey, we get it from the earth. It's fine. God. Yeah. Okay, we need to figure out where this is, break onto this property and start digging.
Apparently it doesn't have a huge memorial. I looked and people were like, "This needs to have like a massive gravestone, a massive site." I've got to look more into it.
I want a marble gravestone in the shape of a slice of pizza.
Great, dude. I'll have to check it out and see.
If we can find
it, like anything over there, that'd be
at least let's just go. If
Yeah,
it's a
I think it'd be
lot on the
goofy.
side of the road, we should go there, do a live report from the mass grave, set it up exactly like those
my
people who
God.
like go to war memorials and talk about what happened there.
No, it'd be
Do
one
that.
of those cringe ones where we just go and like scream, cry at the grave
Yes,
site.
there's also that.
Yeah, that'll be the TikTok version.
And then we'll dig.
Yeah.
We'll go at night and we'll dig a hole because there's a good chance when we get down past 28,000 pizzas, the last 2,000 are still probably pristine.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the
Can you
preservatives in
imagine
the
an
food,
amazing
the
preserved
dyes that were
pizza?
in the food
No,
in the
no, no,
70s.
No, the only thing that's going to be preserved are the mushrooms.
Yeah, it's just we're digging through
God.
botulism mushrooms.
This will be great. It'll be fine.
It'll be
We'll
great.
Fine. Yeah. So after the funeral and everything, Mario he sees a little bit of the start of a decline in business.
I wonder why.
And so he decides, I'm not necessarily responsible for this. And so he ends up filing a $1 million lawsuit against the canning company, which I think is fair.
Yeah, I was
Like-
expecting that.
Like,
They sold a bad product. They didn't have any quality control.
You lost $100,000 for mushrooms that they fucked up, and it's not going to look good on your business. People are less likely to buy them for the next little bit. And so, yeah, it's fair. I think $1 million is absolutely fair when you're making 10,000 fucking pizzas a day. Good God. And yeah, he goes like all in on this lawsuit. Within, I think, the year, he ends up making, they end up settling at like $211,000, which is just, I mean, it's a fifth of what the lawsuit initially was. It's kind of fucked, but I would assume at this point, Mario's probably a little bit more desperate than he was before. To take that much of a loss on your lawsuit that's rough.
I don't know. I think it also just might be that the $1 million that would catch headlines.
Yeah,
and
that's
that he was
also a
totally
good
willing
point.
to just recoup his losses,
Yeah,
which
that's
200,000
true.
may have
I mean,
covered.
$200K does cover the losses that
Yeah, the
like
initial
the
losses and
90,000
then a
that
little
he
bit
lost.
more.
He did have 60,000 in that 200 that went to legal fees. So I mean, he comes out with some money on it at least, and he also continues business with United Canning Co. And
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
yeah, I would assume that was kind of part of the agreement, that they were like, hey, look, maybe they were like, look, we'll give you $200K and you don't have to purchase canned mushrooms from us anymore, some shit. Or like, hey,
Yeah.
we'll sell them at half price for you.
Yeah,
or
just
some
keep
shit
with
like
it
that.
or
Yes,
something.
just some kind of like additional agreement that might have just been like a handshake kind of thing. I
Yeah.
don't know. It was the 70s.
It was the 70s.
Fucking Wild West when it comes to legal shit. Business stays steady, but it's just slowing more and more.
Yeah, not what it was.
Doesn't really take off. The headlines that he's been trying to grab just aren't really grabbing. And in the early 80s, he ends up closing his pizza factory down. And shortly after closing the shop, everything, including the real estate, so the building, all of this like machines and all of the stuff inside, he sells to somebody for $5,000.
Ooh.
It's sad, dude. And this other frozen pizza genius that buys it also ends up going out of business within the next couple of years as well.
Is it just like ultra competitive?
I would assume that there was probably a surge in some like fucking some fucking I can't think of it. Totino's, something like that blows up and is doing frozen pizzas.
Yeah, and
it's
they're just
like
beating them.
they're just shitting them out like crazy. Maybe it is super competitive, but I would assume that like a smaller local like Michigan business isn't really going to be able to outmatch like Tyson Foods
Yeah.
Like the Tyson
Red
chicken
Baron.
of fucking pizza. Yeah, exactly. Red Baron. That's a great example. California Pizza Kitchen blows up. I don't fucking know. Hot Pockets hit the scene, something. But yeah, both these companies just can't hold up to the major Reagan level frozen pizza bullshit that's been going on. Now, a few years after all of this, an investigation into the FDA, or an investigation by a Michigan vet, takes place in the FDA. Sorry, it's time to feed the dogs.
You're good.
And it's exploring the testing and what they're doing with these mice, because they're like, hey, this isn't exactly like, I would assume it's kind of, it's not friendly to these
not super
animals.
ethical.
Yeah, it's not very ethical to just be like, hey, does this have botulism?
Is this
Let's
a
kill
poison?
Let's kill a bunch of mice over it.
Let's see if this snake is poisonous.
Yeah.
Everybody line up.
And so,
venomous.
This specific case comes into question because of the botulism testing that they did for it. And they look further into it. They find reports. They find everything. They're like, yeah, the mice did in fact die after being given these mushrooms and everything. However, they also find not necessarily like a coroner report, but a report that like kind of autopsies on these mice or whatever, that it was a massive outbreak. I don't know if you could call it an outbreak, but all of these mice that died from peritonitis instead of botulism.
Oh, what the
My assumption is that it was something genetic, like there was something in the this generation of mice that they had, that they all fucking die of peritonitis. None of them had any fucking signs of botulism.
They overate. They were overfed the mushrooms, and their
right?
stomachs burst a bit and caused peritonitis. I don't know.
The 17 cases that were reported of botulism when the bad pizza came out, all of those were sent away because they didn't have signs or symptoms of botulism.
So he went out of business for nothing?
All of the mass grave was never
It's
even
clean.
necessary because, I mean, it probably was necessary. Let's be honest. These are bulging fucking cans.
Yeah, it's better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry, but there is a good likelihood that botulism never fucking happened.
So
we
the bulging
might be able to go get a perfectly preserved
1970s
fucking
pizza.
1973 frozen pizza if
So-
we go to Michigan and dig fucking 20 feet into the
20
grave.
feet. No, it's probably like 3 feet down.
Yeah, it's shallow. It's like we probably just have to dust a little
Yeah,
bit
dust a
off
little.
and find the ones that
Remove
animals
one
haven't
rock.
already picked at.
No, so there's a good chance that the bulging of the cans was caused because they were overfilling them.
Yeah.
And they went to put the lid on, and it just overpressurized the cans.
Yeah. Instead of
The botulism causing the bulging.
Yeah. And it was because of faulty mice.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? The real villains in this story are the mice who gave their lives for science.
Yeah. We Pressure Points are taking out a $1 million
$1 million lawsuit on the descendants of that mouse.
It's been almost 50 years. We're taking out a $50 million lawsuit on the loss of pizza, frozen pizza that we could have been enjoying. We could have had a different option.
Damage to the industry.
Yeah.
Mental decline. What do they always say in dumb fake lawsuits? What is it like?
Like where it's like it harms your life or something, or
Yeah, I can't remember the keyword.
I'll have to look
It's a dumb keyword, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, we Pressure Points are suing the descendants of these mice. Find the GoFundMe in the description for it's called patreon.com/points of pressure. And you can help fund our legal ventures.
Is it for emotional distress and
Emotional
damages?
distress and damages, yeah. Not saying that isn't real and doesn't happen. I'm also saying that's very difficult to prove, and that's why it's used a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, so I thought I would share the story of Mario's really fucking bad luck.
Absolutely love stories where
nothing actually
happened. I love those stories so much. It's so much fun.
It's such a fucking nothing burger of an episode, but
no,
it was
great.
a fun one.
Now you know.
I was really hyping up the start of the episode. It's like, it's a fucking mass grave.
It's a mass grave.
And if you go back and listen, the amount of times I said bodies or people, I would correct myself because I was like, oh, fuck, I can't say bodies.
It's perfect. Yeah. Any fans in Michigan, reach out.
Yeah, tell us if you've ever gone. Or if you know where it is.
Yeah, if you've ever heard of this, let me know.
Send pictures.
Let us know. And yeah, we need you to go on a mission, an unpaid mission.
Yeah.
Where you track down this grave site.
We'll send you merch or something.
Maybe. If you can send us cellophane.
Yeah.
With pictures.
And subscribe to us on
Patreon. We will send you merch every 3 months. Yeah. If you're board
only
member.
only if you're in a specific Patreon tier.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if you guys would like an exclusive episode per month, if you would like to listen to AJ's phenomenal series called Voices, or if you would like to check out the dog shit sloppy seconds that we have, check us out on Patreon. Patreon.com/PointSoPressure. We do have a free tier in there for those of you who can't afford it or don't want to pay. I don't blame you. If you can't afford it, please don't pay for it. So yeah, check out the free tier. We have a couple of free episodes on there for you. We got some fun things. So yeah, check it out. Support us. We'd greatly appreciate it. You got those names, boo-boo?
I did. And then I clicked away. Let me see. Let me go sort. All right, we've got first-hand frozen pizza enjoyers.
Botulism survivors.
Botulism survivors. Mouse sewers. Minnie D. Thomas and Toddle Waddle. Thank you guys. If you come to town, pizza's on me.
Yeah, frozen pizzas on
Frozen pizzas on me.
Red Baron on us. Baby.
No, Totino's.
Okay.
We're going cheap.
Totino's on us.
But we have to split one.
Yeah, one between the 5 of us.
Yeah, and then we've got Abby, AJ's Third Nut, Nordic Thunder, Weston, Dark Runner, D's Nuts, and G-Dog. Thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate you letting us, keep doing this show and recording these episodes.
Greatly appreciate your support. And if anybody ever has any recommendations for movies, TV shows, episode ideas, you found an article that has to do with one of our episodes and you want to chat about it, by all means, feel free to reach out to us, even if you just need somebody to talk to, on Instagram @PointSoPressure. Go to our website, patreon.com/PointSoPressure, and find us on our website, PointSoPressure.com, or Jesus Christ, send us a fucking email. God damn.